Hello everybody, massive Aberdeen episode today. Not only have we played through months that I need to catch you up on, we've had a January transfer window with one of the best players we've ever signed come in. We're potentially in a title race, which sounds crazy to say, and we've got the knockout rounds today, which you'll be watching, a two-legger in the Conference League to hopefully make it through into the quarter-finals, which would be absolutely massive for us, both financially and in terms of where we want to take the club. So with that being said, let's run the intro and get right into it. Hello everyone, Jake here. Welcome to another Aberdeen episode. Hope you're all doing very well. I know I am, and I know our Aberdeen players are, because we're doing insanely good recently. But before we get into all of that, if you've watched these episodes, you know what I'm about to ask. If you could smash the like button for me, it really will help in pushing this out to as many people as possible. The more eyes we get on board, the better. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you're this far in and you haven't subscribed, please hit that button. We're getting very close now to 14,000 subscribers, and I'm hoping I can hit that very soon, hopefully even by the end of the week. Drop a comment down below what you think about the games or my signings, or if you just want to get involved, let me know absolutely anything. What game did you watch this weekend? Whatever it might be. And the final thing, I got a lot of comments about it last episode, to all the people who complained about my geography knowledge when I said that Aberdeen players aren't used to playing in the snow out in Sofia, and I was proceeded to be told by many people that Aberdeen is actually very cold, and in hindsight, I think I knew that, I just didn't say it. But anyway, I'm offering up my apologies here to the people of Aberdeen for making it out like you don't have to live in cold conditions. I apologise, but hopefully you'll forgive me when you see just how well your club is doing, because the last time you saw us was a long time ago, wasn't it? It was that match against Motherwell and Sofia, I'm sure it was. That was when you last saw us. And since then, we've been nothing short of incredible. You can see a ton of wins here in the league, including, guys, our first proper win against one of the old firm, if I remember correctly. We won 4-0 here in a absolute smashing of Rangers at our stadium. We beat Dundee United in the new firm derby, lost to Rangers away in the league, but gave it a good shot. Drew to Kilmarnock, but then we beat Celtic, which has been a long time coming. It was a 92nd minute winner from Duke. 66 minutes in, we were 2-0 down. We ended up winning 3-2 in an incredible turnaround. We won in the Scottish Cup, beat a few other teams in the league, ended up losing in the quarterfinals of the Scottish Cup to Hibs, which was very embarrassing and caused a bit of uproar within the squad, which was strange because we'd won so much outside of that. And then we got our revenge straight away in the league by beating them 3-1, and then we've had 3 league wins since then in all very winnable matches. But all of those wins together have led us to the point where we're now sitting in 3rd place in the league. But actually, we've already qualified for the Conference League before the league is even split up into the 2 halves that will happen at some point in the Scottish League. But the interesting thing is, as of a few days ago, we were 2nd at one point because Rangers had a game in hand, but we are very close to Rangers. Only an extra draw compared to them separates us currently. 2 points between us, the same goal difference. We're actually competing for a potential Champions League place, and Celtic are out there 10 points ahead of us. So realistically, title race is probably going to be over unless we manage to beat Celtic again and win all of our other games and then just cross our fingers, basically. But Rangers, there's a good chance we could overtake them. Probably won't, but let's be honest, it's a much better season from us this year. We're far better than the chasing pack, and we're solidifying ourselves as the best of the rest outside of the old firm. But in the Conference League, the 2 games that you'll be seeing today, home and away, we're playing Trabzonspor, which wasn't the hardest draw we could have got. In terms of teams in the Conference League left, we've got Sparta Prague probably going through against Cluj, Galatasaray, Gladbach, Valencia, Nice, Athens, Fiorentina, Lille, Besiktas, Lazio, West Ham, probably 2 of the best teams in the competition playing each other, which is good. And then we've got Trabzonspor, who are currently sitting, I don't know where in the Super League. Let's have a look. They weren't even in the top 3 last season. Now that gives me a little bit of confidence that we might be able to get a win, because some of our players are in top form. But for the thing you're probably most interested in, before we get onto that, is our new signings and the transfers we bought in January. The first one was a loan signing, a good young player on loan from Empoli. His name is Duccio Degli Innocente, who is a midfielder, to basically offer some cover, mainly mainly for Diaz at the base of the midfield so we can keep him as fit as possible for these important games, and also to play centre midfield. A very, very well-rounded player with a lot of potential. He's been okay for us so far, nothing stand out, but to get him on loan for a very small fee, I'm perfectly happy to do. But our biggest signing, and arguably our highest quality player that we've bought in this whole series, maybe outside of Fabrizio Diaz, is João Beso, a centre-back, a Portuguese centre-back who we bought from Arouca, who is playing very well there. We've then signed him for £1.4 million, so it's a lot of money for us, but he's done very well so far with a 7.28 average match rating. He's a consistent player who's considered one of the best at the club. He's got everything that he needs, and his valuation is more than what we paid for him by about double, so I feel like we got a good deal there. He can play centre-back, but recently he's been playing as a deep-line playmaker in the midfield to allow Diaz to go further forward, and he is a brilliant player to have signed in my opinion. In terms of sales, I don't think we actually got rid of anyone, just loan deals really, but there are a few potential sales incoming next season. I don't want to do these, but there's a lot of interest now in Fabrizio Diaz. It's been a few different teams reported. Currently it looks to be Crystal Palace. He is by far the best player in this team and one of the best in the league at this point, the way that he's developing, and his valuation is near enough £15 million. Now what I do need to be careful of is that a team other than Crystal Palace become interested, because right now he does have a minimum fee release clause to clubs in Europe of £11.5 million, so we're going to try and redo that deal at the end of the season when we got our budget sorted, because right now the club's not doing great financially. We were at £5 million at one point, but because of different spendings and wages, it's slowly ticking down and down and down. It'll be fine though, because we'll get our competition prize money soon, and hopefully the further we go in the Conference League the better. If we can qualify for the Europa League or Champions League in the league, then that would be amazing. But yeah, the finances will be fine soon, but right now not doing too great. And with that being said, I think we're all good. I just want to show you though, if I go to the rules section, if we finish third, we go into the Europa League playoff, which I'd be very happy to be in, and if we finish second, we'd actually be in the qualifying rounds for the Champions League, which would be insane to do. So I'll be hoping we can do something there. And the only other player that I really want to show off is Duke, who's been doing so well this year. Despite not really looking like a natural goal scorer, he has destroyed it in the league. 28 goals in 27 appearances, 7.61 average match rating. This guy is a beast, and we'll be needing these kind of players to get us through this match today. So let's start with our first game, the away leg, where really we just want to keep the damage down to a minimum. You might see we've got Tom Ritchie in goal. This is a young goalkeeper. At one point he was capped by the under-17 Scotland team. He's only 5'10", not an ideal keeper, but Keely Roos is out injured currently, so we haven't got him for these games. Now there's also been a development in Anthony Stewart, who will be leaving at the end of the season. His contract's expiring. He decided he was unhappy, so he's gone. And Mansour is also on the transfer list. He demanded more football. I tried to give it him, but even that supposedly wasn't enough. But the side we're going to go for is Ritchie in goal, Fisher, Gagnon and Sevlich. Is that really what I want? I feel like I might do that, bring Liam Scales there, and if Jack McKenzie is available, I am going to start him. Beso at the base of the midfield to allow Fabrizio Diaz to go a little bit more forward and offer some more attacking output. Cafu, Vinny Basujan, yes, I'm happy to have him. Alan Forrest, maybe not. I think actually I'm going to go Hatem Ben Arfa and Duke. Ben Arfa I thought would be absolutely terrible this season. I haven't called upon him that much, but when I have, he's done a good job. So we're going to play him and make sure that Ryan Duncan is on the bench to potentially bring on later in the game. Or do we just start him? I'm just going to start Ryan Duncan. I'm going to go for it, and hopefully today we can get a win. Fabrizio Diaz is our captain. He's got like 14 or 15 leadership, so hopefully next season we can actually give him the official armband instead of a temporary one. But this won't be an easy match at all. They've got a good side, Trabzonspor. This is a kind of competition they'll be wanting to go pretty far in, and we're happy at this point realistically to even make the round of 16. But if we can do something special with the form we're in, it will be an incredible turn of events. They've got Marek Hamšík at the base of their midfield. I forgot he even played football. I thought he had retired by now, but he is there. And the first highlight of the game is 3 minutes in, and it is us on the ball, and we're playing the ball around nicely. Cafu finds Diaz. Diaz with a great ball through to Duke, who shoots, scores, but he must have been miles offside, no? I thought he was like ages and ages offside, and I think that has now been given as off. Yeah, clearly off. But at least good ingenuity from us. Ingenuity, is that a word? Ingenuity? Basically, good pass, that's what I should have said. Duke finishes really well, but he was miles off there. But either way, a good start. I don't even know how you pronounce this team's name. I've always said Trabzonspor, but I mean, that sounds right to me. Apologies any Turkish fans watching here today. But right, so far, the 4-2-3-1 for them isn't quite working out. It seems fairly even. I'm happy with this. Again, if we go all the way through this game and just keep the score pretty low, I'll be happy. If it ends 0-0, that's fine. I know that we'll have them at home, or at least we'll be able to give them a good go at home. Away from home is obviously the struggle, but we might be able to actually get a result here today if we keep playing decently, because 20 minutes in, we're through again, and it's Duke with the shot, just blocked out for the corner. But that's a great sign, and yeah, as long as we stay in this first leg, we've got more than a good chance of getting through in the second. And then once we're in the quarterfinal, obviously every team's going to be decent that will be drawn against, but who knows, you might somehow win the quarters, then you're in the semis, and we might go all the way to winning the Conference League. A very, very long way off yet. We might still lose this game 3 or 4-0. But right now, we can dream, right? That's what we want to do as FM players and as the Aberdeen manager. And I've been told things still aren't getting much better for them in real life. Not going too well. So hopefully this virtual joy that you're getting from watching your Aberdeen side in Football Manager is enough to compensate, or at least can help compensate with the poor performance in real life. I think the key is that you need to sign me as your manager in real life, Aberdeen fans. But Darnell Fisher might have just got himself sent off here 27 minutes in, and that's really going to throw a spanner in the works. 2 yellows as well. Really disappointing from him because he is one of our better players, and that is going to put us in a poor position now for the rest of this game. I'm going to drop Ryan Duncan into right back. Jaden Richardson is going to have to do the best job he can, really, in that right back spot. And we're just going to stay as it is. I never change into like a defensive mindset or anything like that. I think it invites too much pressure onto us. And we'll just hope at this point we can stay in the game and only lose by a couple of goals. But Duke is going to still try and press their attack. We've scored. Vinny Basusian scored. We're in. Out of nothing, with 10 men, it was good pressure from our front line, and it's really why I love playing this gegenpress style, because it's just, you know, even players that might not be very technically good, no offence Duke, he's been scoring for fun, but he just kept pressing and pressing here with them physical attributes that he's got. He just kept going for it, forced a little bit of a poor pass, and then they were struggling, and Vinny's read that really well just to run onto it, and first time hit that into the corner. And that's against players like Mark Bartra, by the way, who at one point was a centre-back starting for Barcelona only a few years ago. So that's a delightful goal to get, considering we'd just gone down to 10 men. I was giving up hope, and that's why you don't go into defensive mode, guys. There's still a chance for us here. Liam Scales, who I really want to sign next season, actually. When we've played him, he's done really well. I just haven't played him that much. Because he's only a loanee, and I feel a bit stupid giving all the game time to a loanee. But I think he's done more than enough to deserve signing him next season. There's an optional fee in his contract for something like £250,000, so I'd be very happy to pay that if we did have the money to do so. Jaden Richardson's given away a penalty. Pushed him to the floor. Darnell Fisher gets sent off. Then Richardson comes on. He gives away a penalty. He's on a yellow. Can Tom Ritchie, the academy player, save us here? The penalty is into the corner. Ritchie can't do too much about it. 1-1, still completely fine by me. Just make it into half-time with a scoreline like this, and it's not terrible whatsoever. There's the Aberdeen fans there. A little bit disappointed. A good penalty, to be honest. Puts it into the corner. Even if he'd gone the right way, Tom Ritchie's only 5 foot something, so I don't think he would have saved it. Can't be too gutted with this. XG fairly even, possession fairly even. We're doing well with a 10-man side, and actually, Richie's doing quite well, as is João Beso. Vinny's also doing good, but maybe Duke we might want to bring off. Potentially even Fabrizio Diaz, who isn't having the best of games. But we're doing well. Let's keep working and keep going as long as we can here and just try and stay in this match as much as possible, I suppose. We do have a highlight in the 55th, and it is the Turkish side on the ball, but João Beso manages to intercept. He tries to hit it forward. Duke tries to flick it on, but realises there's no one there. And Trezeguet, a brilliantly talented winger, is now in. But we win it back, play it back to Ritchie, who hoofs it forward, and Denswil brings it down for the Turkish side. And they're going to go forward again. We managed to intercept with Jaden Richardson, who gives it away slightly stupidly, but then wins it back. Duke, onto Diaz, back to Beso. Do we have a chance here? Good ball from Beso. Can Diaz chase? He can't quite get there. Denswil does well to run back, and it looks like it might actually be a highlight for Trabzonspor, but we're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep pressing, and hopefully we can win the ball back in an advanced area. But that's a very nice ball through. He's done really well there. Can't really deny that. A great ball and a great first-time finish. They go 2-1 up. We've got to make sure our heads don't drop here. For a second, I thought we might be through with Diaz, but it didn't quite work. Not much you can do about that at all. Just a lot of direct passes forward. A great ball over the top. And even with 11 men on the pitch, I think we struggle to defend that. Richie comes flying out, but the finish is very good from Umut up top for Trabzonspor. But now it's time to make some changes, I think, just to keep the legs fresh, hopefully keep the pressing going and make sure we don't go out of this match. First one is going to be Jack McKenzie off for Mansour, who I want to get onto the pitch. João Beso doing pretty well here, but is tired. I'm going to keep him on though. Outside of that, I mean, Tom Ritchie now supposedly not having a great game. Duke also not doing fantastic, so let's get Miofsky on. Perhaps controversially here, I'm going to take off Diaz, put Cafu in the more advanced role and bring on Ross McCrory. And in fact, I might bring Cafu off for Zavronek, and that's 4 changes used, technically 5 because of Jaden Richardson, so I don't think we could make another one if we tried. Yeah, okay, so we're out of subs. Come on, team. Keep the score as this if we can, and we'll be fine with that. But it looks like they're going to try and pile on the pressure as they go forward with Stryger. He finds Trezeguet on that left-hand side. Trezeguet is going to pull it back. He finds Bardi. Bardi squares it. It's an easy goal for Trabzonspor in the end. He passes it into the corner of the net. Changes didn't really help us there, it seems. Oh, and we are struggling a little bit now. Another goal, and it'll be quite hard to come back from in the next leg. I'm going to demand more from the players. And maybe we change it. Maybe we actually do change the tactics. Not something I usually do, but you never know. Maybe it's needed at this point. They go in again with another corner. They're trying to score. We're trying to get a fourth. They might have it. Oh, Matt Ritchie. Not Matt Ritchie. That's not his name. Tom Ritchie. He's doing okay in goal, but you can tell he isn't that commanding presence that we usually have from Keely Roos. McCrory wins it back here, though. Liam Scales bombs it forward, and it's pretty hopeless. Vinny does manage to bring that down, and he does find Miofsky, who could potentially have got us in here. Zavronek. Zavronek's in, and it's 3-2. That is massive for us. That's a huge goal. That could really help us in the next leg, and that's why I like to try and stay positive in the game. We still had 3 players up in the attack there. Zavronek did really well to finish, oh my god, I can't speak, to fill in to that empty slot that's left by not having a right attacking player, and his finish is brilliant, to be fair to him. Puts it right under the goalkeeper. Well done, Miofsky, for holding that up. And this is putting us in a much better place now. Can we keep it like this, though? I'd be really disappointed if we let in another. But actually, to finish a game with 10 men for pretty much the majority of it and have more possession, XG being fairly equal in the end, I'm happy with that performance. I can't lie to you. The fact that we were down to 10 men, we did ourselves proud. That's all we could ask for. Now let's bring it back to the home leg where we're hopefully going to smash them. We will be without Darnell Fisher, one of our best players, who's, I think, fined and suspended for probably the 5th or 6th time this season. We'll have to make do with it, though. So let's go ahead to that next match, and hopefully we can come out with a win. Okay, halfway through going towards that next match, we've had an exciting day because our new youth intake is here, and it looks like we've got a few very, very good talents. It's a 5-star intake. I haven't clicked on any of these, so let's take a look. First one is Trevor Fivey, who I'm almost hoping isn't any good because I don't know if I can say his name. A attacking midfielder, good with both feet. Maybe we could retrain him to be probably not going to be an inside forward, is he? Maybe we'll need an advanced midfielder one day. 6'4", potentially could be retrained to a Mezzala in midfield. I think that's what we're going to do. Slightly injury prone by the looks of it. Pretty weak with only 4 strength, but he is fairly consistent. Determination is at 12, so that's not horrible. 16 flair. Happy with him. We have a French player called David Vincent, who with poor consistency and not many great attributes going for him at the age of 15 and a weird position too, I can't imagine he's going to be much use to us. Potentially a similar situation with this guy, Ewan Kidd, who is good with both feet on that left-hand side, decent passing and technique, fairly quick, but again, I mean, not very consistent, potentially injury prone, personality isn't great, determination is 13, but yeah, not too sure about him. And then we've got a 6-foot centre-back called Liam Harkins, who doesn't have much going for him either. Maybe not the best in terms of individual player quality, but who knows, they might grow into really nice players. The only one that really looks potentially interesting is Trevor Fivey, who we'll see what we can do with him. But still, some nice talents to have in our youth academy. Can't really be too mad with those, I suppose. Another thing I want to point out is this guy that we've had on loan in the Championship called Mason Hancock, a very nice centre-back who's only 5'9", and I imagine might be playing in a free at his club. But at 21, the coaches are saying he's a 3-star player with still more potential to grow. And in terms of how he's been performing, that's excellent. 7.43 in the Scottish Championship with Partick Thistle. He must be one of the best players they've got this year. He is their key player, and for me, he's one of the best players that I think we've got on loan. He's doing really well, and I'm very happy with him. And I'm hoping we can make him part of the first team next season because he's done really well. It's exactly what we loan players out for, to develop. And yeah, just wanted to point him out because he's been doing very, very good. If there's any Aberdeen fans in the comments, let me know if this guy's meant to be good in real life because he looks very strong in FM and he's kind of came out of nowhere in terms of performing well when on loan. Okay, it is game day. It's time to face off against Trabzonspor here. Let's see if we can do it, shall we? Right, first part, goalkeeper. Keely Roos was reported to be fit before the game, but realistically he's been told we shouldn't select him. Not going to risk it. Tom Ritchie will have to play in goal again. Ross McCrory at right back or Jaden Richardson? You know what, because we're at home, I'm going to say Jaden Richardson. I'm also wanting to use Ross McCrory in the midfield. Diaz at the base, yes, that's fine. Beso, Sevelic, Mansour. I think this is exactly the team I would have gone for other than Duke up front, because even after a poor performance last time, he needs to play in my eyes. And Zvronek, we are going to use him, right. And with that done, we are ready to get on with it. Can we somehow get a win here? We're 3-2 down after the first leg. We've got the home leg now. If we can do the exact same thing, we'll be taking them to extra time. Let's show them why they've been praising us recently. Let's show the Aberdeen fans why they need to keep filling up the stadiums like this. One, because it helps us financially, but two, we are a brilliant football club and we're doing very well at the minute. In most games, we don't really get much of a fan turnout, so if we can encourage more to come back after a brilliant performance here, that'll be great. Here we go, some early pressure, and we have a highlight after only 40 seconds, and that could really decide how this game goes. If it's a Trabzonspor goal already, it'd be very disappointing, but Sevelic, at the age of 32, shows incredible pace to get back there and stop the attack. Here's Vinny. Can we get an early goal and really put the pressure on? Duke is in. Duke smashes it into the back of the net after only 1 minute. It is 3-3 on aggregate. A brilliant finish for his 39th of the season, did that say? Incredible numbers. He smashed it into the top left corner, and that's as good of a start as we could have asked for. A brilliant ball in from Vinny. Duke made a fantastic run, and then you're just asking for him to power it beyond the goalkeeper. He did exactly that. Everything we wanted him to do, we did. And now it's a level playing field, and we are at home. So hopefully we can just kick on from here. Obviously, Trabzonspor aren't going to let us go down easy. They're a very good side. But another brilliant tackle from Sevelic there. He's been kind of in and out of the team due to injuries, and also there's younger players that I want to give more game time to. For example, Andres Caro, who you haven't heard me talk about for a little bit. Very good potential centre-back, but right now I'm after the quality that can perform for us straight away. And Sevelic, when he's played, actually has done pretty well. Whether he'll stay beyond this year, I'm not too sure, and because of the amount of centre-backs that we have, and I still want some improvement there, but still, I think this team's been phenomenal this year. The way we've built this side to actually have the depth to be able to compete, whilst also improving players we already had and using youth players, we've done really well. We did have another highlight a minute ago with Vinny, who did go close, that I didn't really talk about, but we're going to try again here with Duke. To Cafu, Cafu to Vinny. Vinny powers it in. We are in the league, and he has been the player of this double leg tie that you've been watching today, Vinny. Assisted one here today, scored one, scored the first goal in the last match when he pressured the defence and forced Mark Bartra into the error when we were down to 10 men. Brilliant work from Duke. Cafu did really well as well to find Vinny. He just has to hit it there. I feel like most players, even not professionals, would score that. Just, you've got open space, you've just got to blast it. The pace was already on the pass, but he did exactly what we'd want him to do as the inside forward, to cut into that channel and to take the shot. And we are now 2-0 up, 4-3 in the overall leg, and this is exactly what we want. And in terms of players that have done well for us and are also super valuable that we want to build around, obviously we've got Diaz, Beso, who's quite valuable, Zvronek, who's on loan technically, Duke, who's doing well, but Vinny Basujan is someone that is valued at a few £1 million now. And would I be against selling him for £4 million if that kind of offer ever came in? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. He's not been amazing. He's not amazingly consistent, fairly injury prone, doesn't like big matches. But at the end of the day, he's got us a goal here. This is a big match as far as I'm concerned, and he's doing the job for us. So, you know, it depends on the money we'd get in and the players that we'd want to buy to replace him. But I cannot complain with his performance today. 2-0 up at half-time, exactly what we would have asked for before the match started. Very happy with this. Let's just keep it going. We're not going to change too much. We could be in with a chance of being in the quarter-final here and getting some prize money along the way, which would be excellent. Excellent stuff. XG is all in our favour. Momentum is going our way. Possession is all ours too. No chances really at all from Trabzonspor. Just bit my tongue as well and it's bleeding in my mouth. But we're true Aberdeen manager soldiers on, doesn't he? Ouch, that really does hurt. We've got to keep going. I'll make some subs in a second and take a little breather off camera, but I am bleeding inside my mouth. But the things you do for Aberdeen Football Club. Here's Abdul Kadir though. He's going to try and pull it back for one of his teammates. He does. And it is a goal for them, which makes it 4-4. I'm assuming away goals aren't a thing at this stage. Slightly disappointing, but also, you know what? We're still doing well overall. It just might mean that we need to make some subs here. Disappointing to concede, kind of the first chance they've had. 4-4. We're still giving it a good go. Still very proud of the effort so far. Good play from Abdul Kadir. Good finish from the player running in there. And they've kind of scored out of nothing. No real chances up until now. Going to demand a little bit more from the players, and at this point it is time to make the change. So Zavronek is going to come off for Ryan Duncan to give us a little extra pace. Ross McCrory can come off for Connor Barron. I'm fine to do that. Mansour not playing great. Let's get Liam Scales or Jack McKenzie. Let's go for Jack McKenzie, and then we're actually going to bring back on Ross McCrory because I want him to play right back. And I think this is working out so far the way that I'd want. I'd probably save the other substitutes. I don't see the point in using them just yet. But Ross McCrory's going to fill in at right back because Richardson not doing the best out there. We've kind of refreshed the squad a little bit in there now, and hopefully that'll do the job. That's actually put Connor Barron at right back when I didn't ask it to. Let's try that again. There we go. Imagine if you conceded then, I'd be fuming. But yes, right now it looks like we're heading into extra time as far as I'm aware. If it is away goals, then we are currently winning, but I don't think it is. I feel like that's gone way before you even start Football Manager. Away goals in European competitions, a thing of a past, but wrongly in my opinion. I did used to like away goals. But yes, it looks like... Oh no, don't let them score. Don't let them score now. Mark Bartra, Richie does well. The young goalkeeper gets his hands to it, makes the save, but that isn't the end of a highlight. Slightly worrying. I kind of just want extra time because I'd be gutted if we conceded right now. It could be a highlight for us though, because McCrory's found Duncan, who should have fresh legs and should be able to beat his fullback here. He does well. Pull the cross back, Ryan. It's not the best. It's not the best at all. But can he win it back? He might have done. Duke. Oh, bloody hell. Jack McKenzie. That was a chance and a half. Oh, it's not over. There is another highlight. They're down to 10 men. Is that Bartra off the pitch injured? No, it's not. It's someone else. If it was Bartra, that would be good. A centre-back down for the last few minutes. But here they go. Victor Hugo at the back for Trabzonspor. Playing it back around the goalkeeper with only 2 minutes to go. Don't let us concede now. Please someone win the ball back. Please, don't let them go forward. It's really nice football from them though, I've got to admit. Beso does well, steps in, potentially fouls him, I don't care, we've won the ball back. Ross McCrory, running into space, showing his engine, driving forward. Ryan Duncan finds Duke. Duke needs to pull it back. Cafu! We've done it! We're actually going in to the quarterfinals. What a... I can't believe it. Not even a great finish, was it? It was just... I felt like something was coming, but I thought it was going to be for them. So that's such a relief, man. Duke pulls it back. Cafu takes a shot. Keeper should have it. He scuffs it a little bit. The ball wriggles its way into the corner. And now you'd think we're going to make it through. I don't see anything else happening. Come on, ref. We've done it. We've actually done it. We've won 5-4 on aggregate. A 3-1 win to get us through. Really proud of everyone for turning that around. Of course I am. A brilliant result. Everyone doing what we asked of them. Lazio being knocked out. They are one of the people I would have said were favourites by West Ham, who featured Kelechi Iheanacho up front. Lille are out as well. Besiktas are out and Ludogorets are through in a massive win for them. But the draw for the quarterfinal and the semi-final is only in a couple of days, so I may as well go ahead to that so you can see who will likely be playing in next episode. And the whole time we're doing this as well, we are trying to work our way up the league and hopefully secure a second place spot. But in terms of a Conference League performance, delighted with that. We don't get too much money, only £500,000. Hopefully that goes up as time goes on. Oof. But Graham Potter, Crystal Palace boss at this point, was in attendance to watch Fabrizio Diaz. We need to get a new contract on the table for him as soon as possible before this develops into anything else, anything of actual note. But yes, it looks like it'll be the day of the draw now. I'm just waiting for it to come through. Here we go. Here's the draw. Let's see how it goes. Can you just advance each time and get a team come up? Yes, you can. Okay, Fiorentina. Would I take them? I mean, out of the list, they're not the worst team to play. I probably wouldn't want them though. and Nice are gone. Okay, so that leaves West Ham, Valencia, Gladbach, Prague, and Ludogorets. Might be a bit stupid of me to say because it might be me misunderestimating them, but I think I'd have Sparta Prague, if anyone. It's Valencia against Gladbach. That's 2 teams gone. A West Ham match would be massive. And it is West Ham. We're playing West Ham. Just did a semi-final draw as well. If we get through against West Ham, we'll play either Valencia or Gladbach. So in my opinion, we got the hardest run we could get there in terms of from now on in. West Ham, where are they sitting in the Prem? They are 14th, so they're not doing great under David Moyes. Compared to real life, their squad doesn't seem like it's got that much better. And if we go to their general form, it's a bit mixed. They did quite well to make it through against Lazio, losing a lot of games. There's a potential we could win that. It's going to be a massive match though, a very entertaining one for sure, and that'll be next episode. When do we play them? It's actually only in a few games time, so we'll see how we get on. If we dominate them in the first leg, maybe I'll skip to the semi-final and show you that, but chances are we won't dominate them, and I'll start recording after the first West Ham match, and we'll watch Livingston and the West Ham away leg. Let's see though. Let's see how we get on. Thank you all for watching. A bit of a longer episode today, but if you have enjoyed it, smash the like button for me, subscribe for more, but most of all, have a great day everybody, and I'll see you next time. Up the Aberdeen, we are coming for the Conference League.